Hello everyone, I'm starting today with these two photos and some embellishments that I have picked out ahead of time. After I picked out my embellishments and my photos, I went ahead and picked out my papers, and I used mostly the boho stack by DCWV. This was a Michaels stack. I'm not sure if it's still available, but you could probably check if you like it. I chose it because of the patterns in the stack. They look like Native American artwork. There's some feathers in there, and I noticed that the patterns kind of match the patterns in my Alaskan scrapbooking kit that I bought on the ship. I'm also using a bit of the textile stack to mat my photos with this dark blue print. I just kind of eyeball everything. There's no exact measurements. I put it where I like it, and then I use my fingernail to make a crease on either end. And I'll use my trimmer for one side. Sometimes I'll rip the other side, or if I want a more imperfect look, I'll just kind of eyeball it with scissors. But I can never do anything straight, so I've accepted that if I purposely make things look a little imperfect, then it just turns out better overall because I'm not stressing about getting everything measured or getting everything straight because I just can't do it. So that blue paper that I just took away, that was my second choice for a background, but I like this feather background a lot better. And then this little scrap piece is just something I had in the stack. I'm going to cut it in half so that I can put it on either side of my photos. And I'm going to use one of my little scallop punches to soften it up a bit. That way there's not so many hard edges in my layout. I'm going to start gluing down layers as well because then I can kind of remember where things go, and I don't change my mind as much once something is glued down, and that helps me make my layouts a lot faster. I have to remember to tell you a bit about these photos. So this is from our Alaskan cruise. We stopped in Ketchikan and we walked around Creek Street before heading back to the ship. And we're so glad we stopped because we got to see a baby eagle. And it was just down by the water, hanging out. So we found a really good viewpoint for it. We took some pictures, and it was really cool to see an eagle in its natural habitat. Okay, so at this point on my layout, everything went by really fast. I added my borders, and then I brought everything else that I had chosen beforehand. And the only thing I had to do was kind of lift up my layers to slide in my journaling card. And that's why I really like my ATG gun, because the tape that it uses, it's really forgiving. It's repositionable for a little while, so if you have to, for some reason, move things around, you're able to do that. So here I'm just gonna lift all my layers and scoot them over. That way my journaling card fits a little bit better. I'm a lot happier with how that looks. Now, I also went ahead and cut out some postcards and journaling boxes from the DCWV Maps and Ledgers stack. And I really like those for journaling and layering pieces. So here I'm just going to stick this little postcard thing in. And I really like how in real life you can see the little detail of where the it says place stamp here. And so it makes it look like a fun little Ketchikan postcard behind our photos. How cool is that little eagle card? That was from my Alaska scrapbooking kit that I bought on the ship. And I knew that I had like the perfect photo to use it with because we have this eagle photo. And I'm just happy that I remembered to use it. A lot of the times I'll forget like my ephemera or like matching embellishments until I see them at once I've already made a layout, and then I'm like, oh, now I have to find another place to use that. So I also had a little card that said Ketchikan, and it had some borders around it. I went ahead and just cut the borders off, and I'm gonna stick the name just here on top, and now it really does look like a little postcard that's been tucked behind our photos. I'm going to start placing my chipboard pieces to see where I like them. And I play with these a lot, but I'm pretty happy with how they ended up. I think the eagle is great there. And the little round piece says, "Let's explore." So now my title kind of reads, "Let's explore Ketchikan." And I really like that. And I also like how the eagle chipboard piece is kind of pointing towards that first photo. I think it kind of directs your eye to where I want you to look first. Now I'm gonna bring back those border pieces from the card that I cut apart, and I'm gonna put one right there next to the eagle, and then this other one I put it on the bottom right at first, and then I kind of played with it, moved it to the bottom left and the side, and I really actually like the way it looked when I moved it to the bottom left, and you're gonna see that in a minute, but I didn't keep it there. It's really interesting how differently things look on the screen. I like the way it looks there, but in real life, I didn't like it as much as I did when I put it on the bottom right. Now, while I place my chipboard, I just want to point out that I really like the unique look of this layout because I have a lot of the fun embellishments from the lines that are out right now, like Shimel's Little by Little, Maggie Holmes, and Dear Lizzie, and Crate Paper. So, oh, Paige Evans. I mean, I love using that stuff, and I love watching other scrapbookers use it. But once in a while, I like to have a layout that doesn't use any of that. So this just uses older paper from my stash and then the Alaska Kid, which is kind of unique. So I really enjoyed that look. The finishing touches here are that little freckled font sticker that says adventure, and then these little hearts from Chamel's Go Now Go. The one on the bottom there says family, so that now the sticker says family adventure. And then this little heart with the clouds, my first instinct was to put it right on top of the eagle. And then I moved it around a whole bunch, but in the end, I really did like it where I put it the first time. So that just goes to show you, go with your gut when you scrapbook. Thank you for watching. Bye.